Okay, so today first I'll revise what yesterday we have discussed. Say in this session, we are going to discuss Citrix virtual apps and desktops. Okay, so maybe Zen app 6, 6.5, Zen desktop 5.6. Those legacy features also we require basic knowledge. Okay, so then Azure IaaS infrastructure, most of the IaaS related components also we required from the cloud. One cloud we required some AWS videos also I'll share, either AWS or Azure. But for Citrix, Azure having more positions, those Azure admin kind of roles also we need to take care in our job. Then Azure wise, we have Azure AVD, Azure Entra ID. Previously, it's Azure AD, it's called, but now it's called as Azure Entra ID also we required. Then Intune. Okay, so these all the course contents we have. And even in the Citrix, we have Citrix provisioning services. So then we have the storefront anyhow is part of that. For monitoring, we have director. Say from Azure wise also, we are going to provision the resources through Terraform also. Say how to provision those resources through the Terraform and PowerShell. Okay, the basics how to manage. We are not going to write the automation scripts through PowerShell, but existing these resources like commandlets we have on the Citrix, Azure AVD, Intune. So these all will control or manage from PowerShell automation. Okay, some ITIL also we required. Some ITIL like maybe Jira kind of or ServiceNow, Remedy, any of the service desk tool we required, and ITIL process also we required knowledge. Okay, yeah. Any doubts on this? Any doubts on this part?
Yes.
Um, so like
On-premises to
hmm.
here we have some sync kind of on-premises to Azure AD wise we can synchronize our data. So those also will get the knowledge because here while using the MCS, I'll cover from Gen server wise and Azure wise also we can integrate. Means our hosting infrastructure is not on the Citrix virtual apps and desktops. MCS required any of the hypervisor or cloud. So that's maybe VMware or Gen server or Hyper-V, Azure. Once we do with the Gen server and Azure, automatically you can do it from the VMware or Hyper-V also. Yeah. Any doubts on this? And from Windows wise, we required AD, DNS, DHCP we required mostly. And if you have remote desktop services, IaaS. So for the web server, we have IaaS. So these are all the things required from the Windows wise. Yeah, please let me know if you have any doubts on this.
Like I just have one doubt. Like what within 3 months, like what will we start and how will we? Do we have that
Yes,
schedule or
yes.
something?
Actually, first we'll start with the Citrix. Parallelly, Azure IaaS related basics of the Azure infrastructure related also will start. Then, once IaaS is done, AVD also will start in that time. After this, we'll start Intune after Citrix has been finished. Citrix may be 40, 45 sessions it may take. After that, Intune I'll start.
Okay.
So Azure wise, if you have Azure IaaS, then AVD we can understand easily. Say, Azure AVD also some of the people teaching, but it won't understand without having Azure things, all those. Because VMs, VNet, load balancers, all those also we required knowledge before starting AVD. Means only Azure Entra ID related or Azure infrastructure related, that kind of job roles also we can choose. Even from the Intune wise or endpoint, like in that Defender, those kind of services also will come. That's all we need to manage.
Srikanth, are we covering NetScaler also in this?
Yes, NetScaler virtual appliance I'll teach.
Okay.
Virtual appliance because in the interview mandatory NetScaler also people will ask us. We need to tell we have worked with the virtual appliance we have worked. Because NetScaler knowledge also is mandatory from the interview wise. It's mandatory. In the job we can have a separate team also, one or two dedicated NetScaler engineers are there. But from the interview wise, we required good knowledge on the NetScaler.
Will they go with NetScaler configuration
Yes,
in
yes.
the
From
interview?
the virtual appliance wise.
Okay.
We have virtual appliance will deploy on top of Gen server or VMware. There I'll explain. Storefront wise, I'll cover in depth itself. Storefront configurations, server groups, those all I'll explain.
Policies,
Which one?
policies, group policies and
Yes, GPO. I'll explain printers, group policies,
okay. After
Citrix
this
policies
architecture,
also. Yeah, Citrix wise, I'm uh, training itself. I have more than 15 years experience.
okay.
Citrix architecture, those troubleshooting, interview questions, all those very in-depth itself I'll teach you. And we have very good recordings, all those also will help you.
Okay.
Okay, so we have huge content is available. Technology-wise, don't worry. What is the expectations from you also? I will expect something, right? You should also have the interest. You should do some labs. You should finish those videos. So it should be a mutual kind of thing, not only like from one side. Okay, so we have lot of content is available. If you have interest, it's a very good opportunity, and easily we can get the success also in the market. But need to enhance our skills. Need to practice more. Only from the trainer not to get the things. You also need to practice by own. So those
Srikanth, do we
kind
have any lab environment to practice from our?
from the Azure wise itself and from the on-premises, I'll try to set up that on your laptops itself.
Okay.
We'll set
For
up that
Citrix,
lab. Yeah, for Citrix itself.
okay.
With Azure also will give that you can share that. And even in your laptop also I'll explain how to set up the complete lab.
Oh,
Okay. So not only the lab, like you need to focus more 50% on the theory part also, 50% on the lab part. Because for interviews also is one of the important thing for us. So survival is very easy in this what I have seen. Okay. But interview is the like we need to able to explain that. And lot of architecture is there because it's a like not a new product, very old product, Citrix, and very good architecture also is there with the Citrix. Okay, so that's the reason we need to have good knowledge, and we have a lot of concepts also, right? Like Azure AVD wise concepts, IAS, Azure IAS we have. So those all we need to manage. Okay, yeah. Any other doubts? Any other doubts? And any Windows knowledge? Have any Windows knowledge? So Windows also we required Windows AD wise. There would be some questions would be there from the Windows wise. Then we have Windows like DNS, DHCP. These all the components also we required. Okay, so then how to design. Okay, say daily activities. Okay, architecture, roles and responsibilities. Okay, then 10 to 15 issues, how you have resolved these issues. This if you prepare, okay, so very easily we can clear the interview. So what are the things we need to design is how we have designed the architecture and what is our infrastructure we have and what are the daily activities, roles and responsibilities, architecture, and in each component we need to explain 10 to 15 issues we need to identify, and those issues we should able to answer. Like we got these issues. Say that's the reason every day do a role play kind of thing. Okay, at end of the day or at end of the session, try to do the role play. Say this is my infrastructure. These many servers we have. These many AVDs like host pools we have. Session host these many we have. Intune these devices we are maintaining. Like that, try to do a role play. Okay, and these are the roles and responsibilities. These issues I got. Say prepare some notes kind of thing. These issues I have resolved. So that's maybe in the job you may be getting repeatedly the same issues. So this if you prepare very easily we can clear the interview also. Okay, so that's like what is my infrastructure? These many servers we have. This is the versions we have. Like this is my daily activities. These are the architecture components. Architectures we'll discuss here. Roles and responsibilities. And like from the forums we'll get some hundreds of issues. Pick that good 10 to 15 issues. Assume those like issues got in your infrastructure. And these are the steps we have done. With this we have resolved these issues. Okay, so like this, if you're able to explain, very easily we can crack. Okay, so that's from the day one you need to practice that. Okay, and even like we need to like discuss more on that part also, and prepare, and from the resume wise also go through each and every word, each and every responsibility. That's try to explain. From the monitoring wise, these are the metrics every day I will monitor. Like this, we need to need to explain. Okay, I hope you got it right. Okay, any doubts on this? So maybe sometimes like how we have migrated from the older versions, because in the 3 to 4 years of experience, we can't run the same versions of those, or maybe we may do the upgradation kind of things. Okay, so how you have performed the migrations, or how those upgradation kind of those steps also we should able to explain. Okay, so these all the things we need to manage. Okay, so these are the things we need to manage the things. Okay, yeah. So then we'll start with the Citrix today. Yeah, any doubts on this? Someone may say salary packages are very high itself compared to like Windows. With that, Intune, all these are very hard skills now. AVD, Intune are hard skills. Okay, so today we'll start with the Citrix virtual apps and desktops. Citrix virtual apps and desktops. So now here we have Citrix. So what is like a Citrix or VMware? Those are not the product names. So those are the like company names. Okay, Citrix having lot of products. So in that, some of the products we are going to learn. Citrix is a product-based company. Okay, so which is having app virtualization, desktop virtualization, server virtualization, cloud. Okay, so most of the endpoint kind of MDM kind of solutions, all those we have. Then, like here, Citrix, what it provides is it providing the virtualization kind of server virtualization, app virtualization, desktop virtualization, networking, software as a service, cloud computing. So these all the things they're providing, and they have more than four lakhs clients have been there, and millions of people are going to use like Citrix products, mostly in the US or like Europe, Australia. So every bank, universities, governments, they're very familiar with the Citrix kind of products, Citrix logos. They will be see, and everyone in the companies also who are working also, like their apps, all those are delivered through the most of the times through Citrix itself. Okay, so that's like here we are going to explore what are the products we have in the Citrix and what are the things we are going to learn. Okay, so now. So what is the Citrix is? See here we have like a Citrix is going to provide mostly the virtualization in that app virtualization, desktop virtualization, application virtualization, networking. All these we have. And Citrix has been started in 1989. Citrix has been started in 1989. Okay, so there I think it started in Texas. Later, it's moved into Florida. Okay, so it started by like one of the IBM employee, formal IBM employee. They started Citrix in 1989. Okay, so making a multi-user versions of OS2. So what is the Citrix goal is? So what is the goal? Like in Citrix 1989, they have started, and most of them are even the founder also is one of the ex-IBM employee. Then they all mostly work with the project called OS2. So what is the OS2 is? OS2 is one of the Unix operating system, and in those days, IBM or Microsoft, all these having the hardware only, the operating system they used to use is OS2. Then, if for the IBM devices or for Microsoft devices, if there is any problem with the OS2, this team used to support for the OS2 kind of issues. But they got an idea. Okay, so what is that idea is? OS2 is a single user operating system. They want to make it multi-user operating system. They want to make it multi-user version of the OS2. As the OS2 demand has been getting success, they want to make it multi-user version of the OS2. So what is your understanding of OS2? OS2 is a Unix operating. As of now, we have Windows, Linux, Mac, we have. But OS2 is one of the very popular operating system in 1980s. And Microsoft, IBM, all these companies have started their like a hardware itself, and their operating system is the open source OS2 they used to have. Okay, then it's a single user version, but they propose in the IBM itself will make a multi-user version of OS2, but IBM not accepted that proposal. Then they came out of IBM and they started the company the Citrus. Okay, so but there are some legal issues with the Citrus. Already some companies are existing with that name. Then Citrix, okay, because Citrus plus Unix, they change it to Citrix. Okay, so it's a Citrus plus Unix. They change it to Citrix. They have renamed. Okay, and they got a lot of support also from the corporate kind of thing, because in those 1980s, most of the companies are releasing open sources. That is the reason a lot of contributions are coming from the companies, from the governments, from the public also. What is the main purpose of Citrix? What is the main goal? Making multi-user version of which operating system? OS2. After 2 years, in 1991, in 1991, Citrix has released a multi-user version of OS2. So Citrix has released multi-user version of the OS2. Okay, say, can you guess whether they got the success or failure? Okay, they got the failure because OS2 is losing the market. So OS2 is losing the market. Okay, say at that place, Microsoft has came with MS-DOS. Microsoft came with the MS-DOS, Microsoft DOS, which is a command line kind of operating system. Then once Microsoft got MS-DOS and they have the plans for Windows NT, then Microsoft devices stopped supporting OS2. Microsoft stopped supporting before MS-DOS or Windows NT. Microsoft also having Microsoft devices only they have mainly. Okay, so then in those devices they require the operating system, and that operating system is OS2. And if for those devices, if there is any problem or any support is there, that maintenance has been given to IBM only. IBM having a team of OS2, they used to provide the support for that, but they got an idea of making a multi-user versions of the operating systems. Then the IBM not accepted that proposal because they also may have an idea OS2 is losing the market. Okay, but they done this. Then like in after 2 years of product, they got the huge failure in the market. Then they have realized, okay, say MS-DOS is going to be like the future, because like initially MS-DOS came from the Windows, or sorry, Microsoft before Windows, which is again a command line kind of thing. But compared to OS2, that is very easy to manage also. Then with the MS-DOS, what happened is, like what is the Citrix view? What is the Citrix view? Citrix want to make it multi-user version of? Citrix want to make it multi-user version of MS-DOS also. Okay, so their bad luck, MS-DOS also is out of market or not? So today no one is using MS-DOS. So when we used to start IT, we used to start first with the MS-DOS. But today no one have MS-DOS and no system support MS-DOS. Okay, so now like MS-DOS is also is not required, OS2 is not required because Windows came. Then Microsoft already got an idea. Citrix make it Windows level also. Then like Microsoft and Citrix collaboratively went for multi-user version of Windows. Okay, so that means say initially like Citrix itself got an expertise on making multi-user versions. Okay, so then like here what happened is Citrix has been struggled a lot in the early stages. Even they moved from Texas to Florida. So today, even their headquarters is in the Florida itself. Initially, they struggled. They have a good vision, but what is the mistake they have done is they identified the wrong operating systems. Then, like Microsoft also know, definitely Citrix will make a multi-user version of the Windows also. Then they itself partnered with the Citrix and they want to make it. Okay, so what is the product name is the WinFrame. Okay, so on top of Windows NT, what is Windows NT is like is a server class operating system. Windows 95, 98, these all desktop class. Okay, Windows NT is like today we have 2019, 2022 like this. Windows NT is a server class. Okay, Windows 95, 98, these all equivalent to Windows 10, Windows 11 like that. Now, what is the WinFrame is making a multi-user version of the Windows NT. Then with this, what happened is Microsoft has become a IT giant with the release of Windows, and Microsoft don't want to release like WinFrame with the collaboration of Citrix. Initially, they started with the collaboration project itself, but they want the complete project like this. They propose a condition to the Citrix. They'll pay the huge money for that. Means that WinFrame should be completely given to Microsoft itself. It's not a common collaboration project like that. Okay, so even Citrix also accepted that proposal, but like here WinFrame has been merged with Windows NT as terminal services. Later it's called as terminal server. Now it's called as RDS, remote desktop services. Okay, that means, but who developed technically that code? The Microsoft and Citrix common collaboration wise, and most of the contribution came from Citrix. Okay, and with the Windows NT, that should be product has been released as a WinFrame, but Microsoft not accepted that. They want with that with their name itself, because Microsoft has become an IT giant with the release of Windows. Okay, so then like they got the terminal services and the RDS today we are calling. Then in order to connect to that multi-user, we require the protocol is required. So what is the protocol we are using is RDP. RDP stands for Remote Desktop Protocol. The Remote Desktop Protocol is the RDP protocol we have. RDP protocol also Microsoft not developed by own. Okay, so there there is one company called as Polycom. Okay, so from this Polycom company they got the like a remote connection kind of a tool. They have remote connect something in Windows 95. We have that to connect to remote missions. Then that RDP protocol got from this. Then Microsoft is very happy. What they want to achieve, they got the multi-user versions of the Windows. Okay, then like Citrix has developed the complete thing. Citrix got the money from this WinFrame. Okay, but Citrix kept one condition to give that WinFrame. What is that condition is? Citrix can use Microsoft products. On top of that, they can develop license versions. So what is the condition? In order to give the WinFrame completely to the Microsoft, what is the condition what Citrix kept is any of the Microsoft services Citrix can use. On top of that, they can develop the products also. They can develop the products also. Okay, so that condition Microsoft has accepted because they don't want to go with the WinFrame. They want the complete multi-user version with the Windows NT. They want by own. And that's they release the terminal server, later terminal services. Now it's called as remote desktop services. Okay, then like here we have on top of the terminal server, on top of Windows NT terminal server, Citrix has developed. On top of Citrix has developed this MetaFrame server. Citrix has developed the MetaFrame server. What is the concept of the MetaFrame server is? But what is the backend to the MetaFrame server is? Windows NT is required. On top of the terminal server also is required. On top of that, Citrix has developed the MetaFrame server because Citrix has got the legal rights to use those Microsoft products. And even they know the code line also because they collaboratively they worked. On top of that terminal server, they developed the MetaFrame server. Okay, Microsoft also is very curious what Citrix is going to do. This time, like instead of making the multi-user version of the operating systems, okay, applications running on Windows NT can be delivered to any device. Around 1999, the world doesn't know the word called application virtualization also, but Citrix has developed the product itself. Okay, so that is the vision what Citrix having, and like with the MetaFrame server, Citrix also has become an IT giant. Citrix got huge success. Okay, because Windows already they have the Windows NT having a terminal server for the multi-user version. Instead of again making the multi-user version at the operating system, they made it at the application virtualization. The world doesn't know to use the word called application virtualization also. We used to use the word called applications have been hosted on the remote servers and those can be delivered. So now in order to deliver those applications, we required a protocol. So we required one protocol. Okay, that protocol what Citrix has developed is ICA. Okay, or we can call this as ICA. Say either ICA or we can call this as the ICA. So what is the Microsoft protocol? What is the Microsoft protocol? RDP is the Microsoft protocol. Okay, then what is ICA? It's a Citrix proprietary and patent protocol. Okay, so then ICA stands for Independent Computing Architecture. So ICA stands for the Independent Computing Architecture. In the ICA, what we are getting is like here very lightweight protocol and the port number this is using is 1494. Okay, so now here ICA versus RDP or metaframe server versus metaframe server itself will call as metaframe servers versus like terminal server. Okay, then this is nothing equivalent to Citrix versus Microsoft itself. Okay, so that means what is the like main proprietary protocol what Citrix is having is ICA. ICA stands for Independent Computing Architecture, which is a presentation layer protocol. In the ISO OS layers, total we have 7 layers. And here this belongs to presentation layer protocol. Okay, so then in order to respect the ICA, like Citrix has renamed this itself as metaframe server itself has been renamed as presentation server. Okay, because that ICA belongs to presentation layer. Presentation layer they have. Okay, the presentation server got huge success again. Okay, but metaframe server itself has been renamed to presentation server as the name ICA belongs to presentation server, and ICA is the very powerful protocol developed by Citrix, which is a proprietary, and even patents also there for the ICA. A lot of patents also have been there. That's the reason. Here we have then Citrix acquired some of the companies also. You may heard GoToMeeting also. Previously, lot of online meetings are going to happen using GoToMeeting, like My PC. These all some of the companies like Citrix. Any of the product-based company strategy would be once they got the good products and they got the revenue, then they don't develop the products. Most of them from the scratch. They will acquire the companies also. That's one of the strategies the companies will make. Then like GoToMeeting, GoToPC, even provisioning services also they got it from one company. These all not developed by the Citrix or they have developed some of them. Some of the products they have acquired also from the companies. That means they will buy the companies also. So that's one of the strategy of the product-based companies. Citrix also has acquired some of the good companies. And one of the very good acquisition in the 2007 is that's GenSource. Citrix has acquired GenSource and renamed this one into Gen Server. They have renamed. Okay, so Gen Source itself has been renamed to Gen Server. Okay, so Gen Source has been is one of the open source server virtualization hypervisor developed by Cambridge and MIT University, but Citrix has acquired this one in 2007. They have acquired, okay, and they renamed the Gen Source to Gen Server. What is the meaning of the Zen is virtualization. So what is the meaning of Zen? Virtualization. Then Citrix want to rebrand all their products into virtualization. Okay, then they have renamed Gen Source into Gen Server. Okay, they have renamed Gen Source into Gen Server. They have renamed. Okay, then they have the presentation server, right? This presentation server has been renamed as XenApp. What is the meaning of XenApp is application virtualization. What is that meaning of XenApp? It's an application virtualization. Then even they have the desktop virtualization also they have, and they rebranded that into Zen Desktop. And initial days Zen Desktop is purely based on provisioning services. Later from Zen Desktop 4 or 4.5 somewhere, they have added MCS also. So we have two types of image creation methods we have. One is PVS, second one is MCS. PVS stands for provisioning services, MCS stands for mission creation services. Okay, so these two techniques we are going to use to provision that resources. Okay. Any doubts on this? Then one of the major thing is also they have done is they have integrated around 2013 somewhere. They have integrated both Zen app and Zen desktop also into one single solution. Previously, Zen app is one product, Zen desktop is one product, but they have merged both of them also into one application. Then they have even Zen mobile is there from the MDM wise. They have Zen mobile is there, and very long back itself, Citrix has acquired one company like Cloud.com. They have acquired. From that they came with the Citrix Cloud also. And from 2015 or 17 onwards, they focus more on the Citrix Cloud part also they have. Okay, so now they're going to give desktop as a service, VDI solutions, all those they're going to provide. Okay, and even Citrix Workspace, Citrix Receiver, Unified Workspace. So these areas, like mostly Citrix is focusing in. So one of the mistake is they not came into public cloud kind of solutions. That is one of the strategical mistake what Citrix done. But Microsoft Citrix, both are very strongly associated. So very tight integration is there between Microsoft and Citrix. Yeah. Any doubts? I think even TIPCO also previously we have the TIPCO that is also merged with the Citrix. Okay, so initially very strong team they have. Even IBM, Microsoft, all these also took the support from from them itself to making the multi-user versions of the operating systems. And Zen Desktop also, like the VDA wise, like Citrix is the leader. Hypervisor wise, some companies prefer to use VMware compared to Gen Server. Okay. Yeah. Any doubts on this? Okay. So what is the main purpose of that? Well, like virtual, like what is the main purpose is? What is that? What is the purpose of that VDA means? Say suppose here mostly the Citrix products what we are going to learn is VDI. So what is the meaning of VDI is virtual desktop infrastructure. Virtual desktop infrastructure. What we are going to get the VDI is like desktops and apps can be delivered to virtual desktops and apps can be delivered to any device. So those can be delivered to any device we are going to deliver. Okay, so we are not going to install that, say no installation, no configurations, everything is centralized. Remotely, we are going to deliver them. And it's going to be separated from the physical device. And mostly to the any device we can deliver. Okay, so we have huge advantages with this. And the currently the leader is like Citrix is the leader in the VDI. Azure AVD is trying to acquire 10 to 15% of the market. So what are the advantages of using the VDI to the enterprises? What are the advantages? So we can manage the resources centrally. We can manage. That means all the desktops, all those are centrally in our office. We have. So maybe assume we have 10,000 users are connecting, or maybe 1,000 users are connecting. Okay, they will have only the devices they will have. That device also is not a like again not a computer is not required. It's maybe a smart device or a thin client. Or it's maybe a zero client, okay, or maybe a tap kind of thing also. So to those, we are delivering the desktops, kiosk devices also. But where the desktops are running is, those desktops are running on the server virtualization. That's I'll call as hypervisors, or now we can have a cloud also. That's maybe from the Azure we can have, or AWS we can have. From there also we can deliver those desktops. Then I deliver the desktop to the user, but we need apps. Can you tell me some examples of the apps? Maybe office related apps we required like MS Office or we required email, Outlook kind of things. Now we have Teams. Okay. Otherwise, I have some banking clients, SAP applications, or maybe we have some telecom applications. Those all applications also we no need to install on the device. Those applications also can be delivered to the any user. Those applications also can be delivered to the any user by using those applications also can be delivered to any user by using the VDA kind of solutions. So as of now in the market, what are the products we have is like these all the enterprise level products. There are some thousands of small applications also there in the VDA also, but the leaders are Citrix virtual apps and desktops is that as of now the leader. Then like from the VMware wise, VMware View Horizon or VMware Horizon it's called. Then we have like a Microsoft wise, AVD is also having the market, and Amazon also came with one solution called as Amazon Workspaces. Say if you spend 1 day, 2 days, even Amazon Workspace also is not a big prop. Easily we can deliver. Amazon Workspace also is the simplest AVD solution. Okay, so then a VDI is a virtual desktop hosted on the hypervisor, and applications or desktops can be delivered to the any device, anywhere, any world. Okay, so that's kind of like a solution we are going to deliver through VDI, and in the VDI, the leaders are Citrix Virtual Apps and Desktops, VMware View Horizon, AVD, Amazon Workspace. At one point of time, troubleshooting of this, mostly the very common kind of things would be there. Even we can work with the hybrid kind of environments also. Means, say suppose your project has required a VMware View Horizon, within a week you should be able to manage that kind of expertise also we need to get. Okay. So initially, in my career, we started with the VMware View Horizon, but later it's moved to Citrix PBS, VDI, XenApp. Like this, we have moved. Okay, but compared to VMware View Horizon, Citrix got a good market. Okay, yeah. Any doubts on this? Any doubts on this? Okay, so in the like next sessions, first we'll start with the Citrix. Like here if you understand, like we have the MetaFrame server that is almost like a very old version. Then it's a presentation server. Okay. Then that itself has become XenApp. XenApp has been changed at 6. Till 3.x, we have MetaFrame server. Then presentation server we have with the 4 and 4.x. And XenApp, I think they have changed that 5. But very immediately they given XenApp 6, then XenApp 6.5. Okay, so among this, XenApp, the last version is 6.5 is the last version. Okay, so then coming to Zen desktop wise, 5.6 is the last version. Okay, so Zen desktop 5.6 still like Zen desktop 4, 5, 5.6 like this we have. Then what happened after this? There is no Zen app, Zen desktop version. Okay, so we don't have Zen desktop. Then both Zen app and Zen desktop has been merged with Both XenApp and XenDesktop has been merged with the virtual apps and desktops. Okay, so when this happen is with the 7.x they have released. Means XenApp 7 not came into the market, like they called as virtual apps and desktops. Okay, or maybe Citrix XenApp and XenDesktop initially they may call, later they called as virtual apps and desktops. So what is the major change happened is, both XenApp and XenDesktop has been unified into single solution. We have a unified administration solution instead of managing them from multiple solutions. We are going to manage from the single solution. We are going to manage them. Okay, that means both XenApp and XenDesktop has been integrated now. Okay, so then like we have 7.6, we have 7.6 is also one of 7.5, 7.6 like this. Like we have the Citrix products has been started. Okay, so then any idea what is the current versions we have? What are the latest versions we have? Say 7.151, like this they have given 1.19 like this they have. And Citrix is going to maintain like they'll have two types of versions there are. One is called as CR, second one is called as LTSR. Okay, so what is the meaning of CR is? It's a current latest version and mostly enterprises prefer to use LTSR version. What is the meaning of LTSR version is long-term support release. Means they're going to promise for the longer term and mostly the stable releases they will make that as LTSR. Okay, so mostly the companies are using 2203 or maybe we have like 2503 like this. They have the the latest LTSR versions are there. Okay, so that's like even we need to discuss what are the new features in the current version of virtual app and desktops and LTSR version of virtual desktops also. For the new features, current release is the best one, but for the production environments, stable versions are required. That is the reason we are going to use LTSR versions. Okay. So as of now, I think we have a 2507 is the latest version we have. I think that is the LTSR version. 2507 is the latest version of Citrix product on the LTSR. Current release is 2503 somewhere. Prior to that, 2203 is the LTSR version we have. Okay, so again that is in the virtual app and desktop. In the 7 itself, these all 7.6, 7.15, 7.19. Okay, so now we have LTSR 7, 2507 we have, or 2507 we can call that. So what is the difference between current release is that's current release may be not supported for longer period also. End of life may be declared at any point of time. Okay, so in the next session onwards, we'll start with the Citrix architecture. Then we'll go for the Citrix architecture components, end-to-end enumeration process I'll explain. Very, very important to understand the architecture and from the interview wise also. Then we'll start the installations of all these. Okay, so what are the components? We have all those and end-to-end how the how the enumeration or how that applications or desktops can be delivered to the users. We'll discuss. Then we'll go for the installation part. Yeah. Any doubts? Yeah. Any doubts? Yeah, please let me know if you have any doubts. Okay. So then from next session, we'll discuss Citrix architecture components. All these we'll discuss. Okay. Then here I hope Zenap, you got it right. Zenap, what it used to do, applications it used to deliver. Zen desktop, desktops is going to deliver, but both have been unified into single solution. Both apps and desktops can be delivered to any users. Then here we have one more PVS. Okay, so what is the meaning of PVS? So here, this is one of the like a PVS is also one of the good technology from the like a Citrix called as provisioning services. With the provisioning services, what is going to happen is like we no need to install any of the operating system. That like we can boot the servers or desktops. We can boot the servers and desktops without having an operating system also. Means we no need the operating system also, and those applications, sorry, those desktops can be booted. Okay, so now we have Windows deployment kind of service we have in that. So like this here, we are going to deploy the Citrix PVS is going to be using for the streaming kind of things or for booting the devices. Okay, so like in the initial days, like people are shocked with the previous kind of technology also, because without having the operating system, without having the hard disk also, the devices are going to boot. Okay, so in the early versions of the Zen desktop, the backend technology is PVS. Okay, I think from the Zen desktop 4 or 5, they have added MCS also. MCS stands for Mission Creation Services. Okay, so previously for Zen desktop, the base is PBS. Now, like for Zen desktop 5, somewhere they have added MCS, or I think Zen desktop 4 itself. Okay, so MCS stands for Mission Creation Services. Both have their own advantages and disadvantages. Okay, so now most of the companies are using, in the interview also, they will expect both the things, MCS, PVS, both the things. But MCS is very simple compared to PVS. But we'll discuss both PVS and MCS, we'll discuss. Then here we have, now we have in the 7.x, right? Or maybe we have like still today also both PVS and MCS both are supported either at the server level or at the desktop level also it's supported. Either at the server level or desktop level it is supported. I'm not. Hello? I'm audible to you? Hello? I'm audible to you? I think some issue is there. Okay, no issues. Okay. Any doubts? So here both MCS, PVS, but compared to PVS, MCS is gaining, but we have a lot of advantages in the large scale with the PVS also. We have advantages, and even in the interview ways also, people prefer who have both the knowledge. They'll try to take instead of only MCS. Okay, so now here we can control some like uh, thousands of users also. We no need to install those apps, desktops, patching. All that is centralized. That is the main advantage of using Citrix products. Okay, in the next session we'll discuss more on the architecture part. Okay. Yeah. Any doubts you have? Sure, I'll share that recorded link. Okay, sure. Thanks for everyone. So we'll start the session from Monday onwards, Monday, 8 o'clock. Okay, join the same link on Monday. Okay? Okay, sure. Thanks for everyone.